Hello, and welcome back to the Wednesday Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden. Menu, please.
And I'm your co-host, Ryan. Vanilla latte, please.
Interesting choice today, Ryan. Today we also have a special guest, Lishi. If you'd like to say hello.
What up? I'm back again.
Are you going to steal the podcast this week, Lishi?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm just going to steal this now. This is mine now.
If you say so, but I think you should take into account... Oh, a timer just went off. That's disturbing. Interesting. I don't know what that's about.
One second. I'm just going to be right back in a bit. Gotta do something real quick.
Sounds good. Ryan, so this is apparently our 11th episode of the Wednesday Brunch Podcast. How does it make you feel?
It's really been 11 weeks. Honestly, it felt like we started this like a couple weeks ago.
I do get that too. It's an odd feeling. You know, just
like at most it feels like a month. But yeah, 11 episodes, 11 weeks. That's like half our quarantine.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy kind of feeling that we've been around here for this long doing this. How's your week been going though?
So my week's been pretty chill, honestly. So I've just been going to practice, and then this week I was supposed to get a break, but then our instructor told us to go to the seminar, which would be held on Saturday and Sunday, and it's just a bunch of stuff to help us on our journey.
What's the actual thing, the seminar about though?
So the seminar is just a bunch of different instructors from different clubs, and they're just going to talk about different things. For example, some of them is like how to exercise at home. Others are like how to get better at certain techniques and stuff like that. And if everyone forgot, I'm actually part of a kendo club, which is basically sword fighting.
All right, that's pretty cool. My week's been pretty good as well. I've been going out taking pictures, which is something that's so important to me. You know, you get that passion. There's some beautiful shots that I've taken recently that I'm very proud of. I've been going out for jogs. That's the thing I've been up to. So trying out some new recipes, you know, working, of course, with the U of T on the research project, which I'm excited to say that we're getting closer to the end with our focus groups that are going to be happening very soon. So we're going to be talking to some young individuals about how the coronavirus has affected them. As well, I've been doing my Harvard Justice course, and now that I remember that, I forgot to go over our menu for today. So today, of course, we're going to start off with how we've been doing this week. Then we're going to do your classic segment, Ryan. What's it called? Love it,
hate it, why?
Yep. And we're going to do Facts by Googles. We'll jump into talking about a little bit about a philosophy question from, I forget his name, but he is a Harvard professor. I think it's Michael Sandel. And then we'll jump into a special game that we'll reveal later. And then we'll jump into politics, but not like too deep. It's just going to be talking about universal basic income, which is something that is it's a very big topic. So, Lishi, what have you been up to this week?
I'm here.
Did you hear me? Sorry?
Yeah, you introduced what we were going to do for the podcast today, and yeah, it should be fun.
Mm-hmm. So what have you been up to this week? That's what I asked.
Just playing Minecraft, just grinding a lot. Made a lot of profit yesterday. Got tripled the profit I should make today. And yeah, also been jogging with you. You know, yesterday was pretty fun. Having a jog.
Yeah. Sounds very fun. Ryan. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Honestly, out of the three of us, Jane, you have the most lively of lives.
Oh, I try really hard. I try very hard to make it interesting.
Yeah, it's really exciting to hear what you have to say every week.
That's nice to hear. I try to make my life very lively and interesting, or else I get really bored and kind of
Remember not to get burnt out.
Yeah, exactly. I do try to relax.
I just play Minecraft, so...
Well, whatever makes you happy, at least, you know, that's all that matters. Ryan, if you want to jump into Love It, Hate It, Why?
Alright, so for all our viewers, this is our weekly segment of Love It, Hate It, Why. So basically, I give a topic, and the guest answers love it or hate it. and I ask why in hopefully different varying tones, and then they give me a one-word explanation why.
Alright, let's get started. Hopefully I can get through all of them this time.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 minutes on the clock, and we start in 3, 2, 1. Diamonds.
Love it.
Why?
Shiny.
Razor. The brand.
Love it.
Why?
Good.
Spending.
Love it.
Why?
Profit.
Running.
Love it.
Why?
Healthy.
University.
Hate it.
Why?
Debt.
I know. Exercise.
Love it.
Why?
Healthy.
Controllers.
Hate it.
Why?
Peasant.
Wow.
Torture.
Love it.
Why?
Entertaining.
Creepers.
Hate it.
Why?
Annoying.
Insects.
Hate it.
Why?
Annoying.
Plants.
Love it.
Why?
Food.
Nerf guns.
Love it.
Why?
Fun.
Dogs.
Love it.
Why?
Food.
Microsoft.
Love it.
Why?
Software.
Sticky notes.
Love it.
Why?
Notes.
Swords.
Love it.
Why?
Action.
Boxing.
Love it.
Why?
Healthy.
Cooking.
Love it.
Why?
Food.
Puzzle games.
Love it.
Why?
Hard.
Steam.
Love it.
Why?
Games.
Okay, so we finished at 2 minutes and 1 second. So
Alright.
we got through 20 questions. And let's go through a couple of them. So you love torture?
Yeah,
it's entertaining, okay, to just joke about torture and stuff like that. Obviously, I wouldn't actually do it, but
Okay.
That's good to
different
know
stro-
for the record.
Different strokes for different folks.
yeah.
Okay, so you said you hated insects, but yesterday on our jog, you explicitly talked a lot about
He
cockroaches.
did. He did.
Yeah, I never said I liked them though.
And on our walk home, the only thing you were talking to me about were how cockroaches were, was it a substitute for all the food we eat?
Great source of protein, I think he was saying.
Protein?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean I like them as alive. I want them dead.
Okay.
Grasshoppers are good for that too, apparently. Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else? You talked about how you love Microsoft software.
I mean, it's pretty standard in computers and stuff. So
Honestly, in my opinion, I honestly hate software so much because it never works when you want it to.
oh yeah.
And that concludes. Oh, Jaden, go ahead.
I was gonna say Microsoft. I do like it, but you're right. There's a lot of issues with it. A lot with that.
Even Apple too. Their stuff is supposed to be efficient, but once you start running out of data, or start running out of space or storage, stuff just stops working.
Exactly. It's too bad.
But it's just software in general. Hardware is a lot more reliable, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
All right, and that concludes our segment for today.
How many more questions were left on the board?
You got through all 20 within 2
Oh, wow.
minutes. You
That's great.
only went past by a minute 82 milliseconds.
That's
Oh.
good.
That's
All
good.
right.
So 20 seems to be the sweet spot for questions.
I think so. Too. Let's jump into some interesting facts by Google, one of my favorite segments. So first up today, why is a nautical mile longer than a land mile? Something I had no idea. Something I would never ask, but let's talk about it. A nautical
Honestly-
mile is based... Go ahead, Rob, sorry.
We don't use miles here, so that's a hard
No,
thing
it's
to
true.
ask us.
I know. It's still... Apparently, that's what Google wants us to talk about today. I'll just read what the little synopsis there. A nautical mile is based on the circumference of the Earth and is equal to 1 minute of latitude. It is slightly more than a statute land measured mile. 1 nautical mile is 1.508 statute miles. Nautical miles are used for charting and navigating. See, interesting. Very interesting. I don't know why we need to know that, but sure, why not?
I don't know, maybe if we go to the US someday and we become like a geographer.
Or if we become ship captain, I don't know.
That's also true. Alright, so my first fact of the day. Despite all the forests in Japan, there's one animal that you would expect them to have, but they actually don't. Jane, could you guess it?
Pandas.
Lishi. So give me one animal you would expect in forest, but Japan does not have.
Squirrels?
Birds?
Honestly, I think the first two are correct, but one animal you would expect to see in a forest are wolves.
Oh,
yeah.
Japan does not have any wolves,
wow.
but because they have been extinct for over 100 years.
Ooh.
What happened?
What happened was apparently there was, I think, a pandemic for wolves. It might have been rabies.
Wow.
And both subspecies, the Honshu wolf and the Hokkaido or Azo wolf, are both completely extinct. But there have been sightings by some Japanese people, so they are possibly still out there.
That's too bad. That's very sad.
Yeah, you would expect them to have wolves because there's like roots to wolves in their mythology and all that too.
Okay, my turn. Let me pull up the next one here. How many hearts do octopuses have?
Was it 3?
Yes. It is 3. I'll just go over here. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 branchial hearts pump blood through each of the 2 gills, while the third is a systematic heart that pumps blood through the body. Octopus blood contains the copper-rich protein hemocyan for transporting oxygen. So,
I think hemo means blood, so whatever that means.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I forget where I learned that from, but yeah, it's interesting. Alright, so fact number 2 for me is I talked to Jaden about how there was only one country in East Asia currently that allows same-sex marriage. Jaden, could you guess it?
Oh, one country. Ooh. You told me this. I forgot. I know it's not Japan. It was Singapore.
You would expect it, right? But in fact, Taiwan is actually the only East Asian country to allow same-sex marriage, and it was only been officialized as of 2019, so last year. In fact, they are actually the most accepting of a same-sex activity because those laws just literally never existed in the country. And their constitution also bans all anti-gay discrimination currently.
That's good.
So they have to be the most accepting of a same-sex activity in all of Asia, or East Asia at least.
Well, that's good. That's nice.
I'm very proud of it. It's a nice thing to have as a country kind of slogan. Something to stand for. Yeah, that's good. So the next thing is, how many people have stood on the moon? For the moon people, of course, we asked this question.
Was it 5?
12. 12 people. 12 men. No women, actually. Have walked on the moon. 8 of whom are still alive. All the landings took place between July 1969 and December 1972 as a part of the Apollo program.
So how many of them are American versus Russian?
Let's see. I think this is the Apollo program.
Uh-huh.
So all of them are American.
Okay.
Because I think the Apollo program only had American astronauts.
Okay. Yeah, because space is not one of my one of the best topics for me. Because I've been always more interested with the sea.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do have a fact about space since the next one. Jane, do you think space has a smell?
Yes, it does. It smells like burning something. I forget what it is.
It's Yeah, it smells
Fire.
like hot metal or seared steak, according to some astronauts after they've done a spacewalk. But it also sort of makes sense because there's just a lot of floating metal and a lot of like floating rock.
And also the sun kind of it's very hot out there.
Yeah,
Oddly.
since there's no like layer to protect
Exactly.
anything from the rays.
Lishi, what do you think? I haven't heard you say anything for a couple seconds there.
Well, I think it's pretty interesting. Sorry, I'm just like eating food right now. So
This is such an odd thing to have. It's okay. Interesting, dude. I'll jump into another question here. Let's see. How much was Manhattan Island purchased for in 1626?
1626.
Yeah.
So we gotta do the conversion.
You don't just make a guess. Make a guess.
$1,000 back then.
No, not even close. I'll go over it. According to tradition, I don't know why I said tradition, but someone purchased the island of Manhattan from Native Americans on May 24th, 1926 for goods valued at 60 Dutch guilders, which in the 19th century was estimated to be the equivalent of US $24 or $680 today.
$680 today.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, the conversion's so difficult for me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because I remember penny candy used to exist.
Mm-hmm. That's really surprising. $680. I could buy Manhattan if I was back then. I couldn't probably because they bought it.
How big was it?
I actually don't know. Probably smaller because they did build on it because it's more man-made now. I'm not sure.
Okay. So for the next fact, Jane, do you know the official or the national animal of Scotland?
It's probably something interesting like a bird, a quail maybe.
Well, in fact, the national animal of Scotland is actually the unicorn.
Oh yeah, it is. That's a cool one.
And they're also known for the Loch Ness monster, so I guess they just love their mythological creatures. But I'm sure like unicorns and like giant sea monsters exist somewhere. I just have a feeling they might.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
I mean, I'm sure like horses can go through mutations that would give them like a horn. That one would be like pretty. I think would be pretty like believable. Giant dinosaurs, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. You never know. The sea's so big.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something that lives in the Mariana Trench down there so deep. So, I'm getting a lot of space facts. Let's see if I can find one I like. Do any other animals lay eggs? How many do you think? Make a guess.
Like types of animals?
So
or like species?
So, mammals. So how many mammals do you think? I could just tell you if you don't want.
I'm gonna guess 1.
It's not. It's 2. But I don't think there's no way you'd ever guess that. It's such a weird question. Only 2 kinds of egg-laying mammals are left on the planet today: the duck-billed platypus and the Echidna or Spina antactera. These odd monoterms once dominated Australia until their pouch-bearing cousins, the marsupials, invaded the land down under 71 million to 54 million years ago and swept them away.
Yeah, the platypus makes sense. I think that was the one I was thinking of. I wasn't sure about the other one.
I don't even know what that is. Can't even pronounce it, but fascinating, I guess.
Okay,
I think it's like a bird or something.
Probably some sort of mammal bird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the platypus looks like a duck in some ways. So maybe there's some relation there.
Yeah.
Alright, so for my next fact, it has been proven that showers actually do spark creativity.
Oh, interesting.
So for a 2012 study published in the journal called Psychological Science, researchers gave volunteers creative problems to solve, followed by a period of rest. During that period, some were assigned demanding tasks, while others did simpler tasks that allowed their mind to wander, just like a shower does. So technically, they did not physically put people in showers, but they simulated that through through whatever they did. I'm not sure. But those doing simpler tasks during the resting time were more likely to solve the original creative problems.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah. So if you give your mind some simpler task, for example, showering, then afterwards you would have your creativity in theory should be a lot better.
That's good to know. I will keep that in mind. I'll do one more final interesting fact. I've always wanted to go to Italy. It's on my bucket list. Technically, every country is. I want to go to all 195. But here's an interesting fact about Venice. How many islands does Venice have? Venice captured the impressionism of a magical floating city by setting wooden pilings on the 118 submerged islands in the northern end of the Adriatic Sea. 400-foot bridges and 170 boat canals connect the city to make it easily accessible to the local populace.
Wait, how many islands?
118 submerged islands. So it's like they have these underwater and they just built it up. It's pretty cool.
Isn't Venice the city that's full of water and boats?
Yes, it's the one that's currently sinking.
Okay. Alright, I have one more fact for everyone. There's actually a country where twins are more likely to be born. So Benin, a country in Central Africa, is known for having the highest birth rate of twins in the world. While the world average just says 13 twins per 1,000 births, Benin, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Benin is more than double that rate, at nearly 30 twins per 100 or 1,000 births.
Wow.
So 13 compared to 30.
That's a lot. I wonder why that is.
There's actually no singular reason that causes this.
Mm-hmm.
Some might believe it to be like magic or witchcraft, but scientifically it could be because of genetics, diet, and even the mother's height and thoughts.
Interesting.
But yeah, I heard Africa has a lot of places that are just like really weird or out of this world that are like really big. Or
that's kind of cool, honestly. That places like that exist still in the world. That's so like everyone just sees it like it's just kind of boring in a way. That's cool. Let's play a game. So, Lisa, you haven't played this game, but it's called Take a Trip. So basically, we start by saying I'm going to Australia and I'm taking aspirin. The next player has to say the words with the letter B. So I'm going to Australia and I'm taking aspirin. I'm going to someone else would say I'm going to Australia and I'm taking a banana. But you wouldn't be able to because they have strict laws on parties. But just that's basically the example. Let me go through the alphabet. So I'll go first, and then Ryan, and then Lichi. So I'm going to Antarctica, and I'm taking what's an A word? I'm not gonna use aspirin. I don't even know what another A word is. Holy. Oh. I can't think of an A word. Let me look up an A word, then we'll start. This is sad. This is so sad. Do you want to go first, Ryan?
Yeah, sure.
A-word. You go first.
A word?
Ryan. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to. Was it Antarctica?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to Antarctica, and I'm taking apples.
Oh my God, apples. Okay.
For B, I want to say boat, but
okay.
Yeah, we'll start.
I'll use that one. Okay. I'm going to Antarctica, and I'm taking a boat.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a cucumber.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a duck.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking an elephant.
I'm going to Antarctica and taking a fish.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm bringing the gulag.
Wow, impressive. I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking high heels. Why not?
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking an island.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a Jack in the Box.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a knife. Who's it next? Alicia.
You're at L.
Wait, what? You said knife? It's okay. What's after K again? Oh.
L.
Oh, I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a lion.
I'm going to my God, I'm having just a brain fart saying that word. Antarctica, and I'm taking Mom.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a nighttime pillow. I don't know. That was a long thing to say.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking an
Sure,
octopus.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking Papa.
Nice.
parents are going.
Okay, I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking the Queen.
You at R.
I'm going to Antarctica and taking a race car.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a sniper rifle.
I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking some tea for the Queen.
I'm going to Antarctica and taking an umbrella.
I don't know if this can be very helpful, but okay.
But I guess it snows.
Maybe. Is it my turn? No, it's Ryan's.
No, I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking Venice.
Wow, ambitious. I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a wagon.
I'm going to Antarctica and taking yellow pants.
I think you're at X.
It's X.
Oh, I'm taking my X-ray there then.
Okay. I'm gonna bring some yellow pants.
Okay. Well, I'm going to Antarctica. I'm taking your mom.
Okay.
Bro.
Thank you, I guess. It's nice of you. Thanks.
You got two moms and a dad.
And the Queen.
And the Queen.
Can't forget her. I'm going to Antarctica and I'm taking a zebra.
I mean, we got a lot of animals, and we're also bringing all of Venice, so I think
I think it's pretty good, you know.
we're
bringing-
tugging Venice using ropes.
I
On
mean,
the
I
boat.
also got the umbrella, so
And the wagon. Very helpful.
And the wagon.
yeah.
So, we wanted to talk about, we'll go over justice next week because we're running out of time today. Let's jump into universal basic income. So, Ryan, we were talking about this the other day. What's your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I'll just explain what it is first. So, universal basic income is basically your government will give you a certain amount each month or each certain period just for being a citizen of the country. Which in my opinion, is honestly a great thing because first of all, if you give people some money at, like, for example, once a month, if you give them like $1,000 a month, which is what Andrew Yang pushed in America during his campaign, imagine how much burden it would take off everyone. For example, if someone was paying the rent and they needed that money, they could pay the rent, but also have some money left over to spend on like food. And since that money's unless you're buying online, is usually being spent back into the country,
Exactly.
it just keeps the economy rolling.
It's definitely a good way, personally. So I did some research and I came up with some pros and cons.
Yep.
So I'm going to run those out. So the pros, let's start off with those. Simple and efficient to administer because basically it's not like certain people get the money. Everyone gets $1,000, let's say, a month. And it's not the logistics because a lot of countries have trouble getting it. But just like we know who it's going to. Avoids poverty traps. So then that means like people aren't going to be living in poverty anymore because people are all going to have $1,000. So they're all going to be able to go get food, be able to find a place to sleep. So they're not on the street or they're not struggling in that reduce. And that also connects to reducing inequality and poverty, homelessness. Encourages social beneficial tasks such as old age care. So that's a great thing, helping the elderly because they would get money even too. So they can pay.
And I'm pretty sure it gets like just stacked on top of other plans.
Exactly. That would help because there's a lot of times that people can't afford to take care of their parents when they're old because it costs so much to put them in an old age home. So it's not fair to them. Encourages individuals to take risks instead of a business because you have that something to fall back on. Yeah. For cons, actually no, I'll just go to cons. The cons are pretty basic. It can encourage laziness. So if you're getting $1,000, like why do you gotta work? Why do you gotta assist society? Could discourage part-time work again because you're getting that money. It's going to cost a lot of money to do because like everyone's getting $1,000.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Canada because in the U.S. they're going to take that money from Amazon and it's a U.S. company. We don't have an Amazon here.
We don't.
So that money needs to come from somewhere.
Exactly. It's a difficult thing to get the money because there's already money going to all the other important aspects of the country, like healthcare, education. There's so many aspects you have to like divide it up to, so it's hard. It's going to cost higher taxes, like we were saying, because you have to get the money from somewhere. Higher income taxes could lead to incentives to work. So people, since they're getting more money, they have to pay more taxes. So like they wouldn't want to work.
So there's one thing about it. So for example, in America, they were going to take it from Amazon sales.
Mm-hmm.
For example, after every Amazon sale, they would take a bit of that money and siphon it back into that plan. Right. Since it's a lot more relevant here because we don't have that, like I said.
Mm-hmm. And the last one here we have is could lead to support for undesirables and criminals. So if everyone's getting $1,000, that means that people that are committing heinous crimes are getting $1,000 too, which isn't morally wrong, but it's not something we really want to help. We don't really want to support these people that have done bad things for society overall.
Yep. So there would be conditions. For example, like you must, I guess you must be like working. Could be a condition.
Mm-hmm.
Other conditions, like if the money's optional, you can or cannot take it. So rich people could decide to take it or not.
That's good.
And maybe they'll put I guess a new marking for like criminals. Mm-hmm. Maybe a criminal's done something or done too many years of jail and they won't be able to get it or something. I'm not sure, but that's all a gray area.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting idea. Lishi, do you have anything to add to our little discussion on this?
Tell us your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. The thing I'm concerned about is obviously like the taxes and how that money's gonna come from. Mm-hmm. So that is still a pretty concerning thing to note if we're implementing one, pay for $1,000 every month.
Yep. So for example, you could like fuel your Minecraft hobby forever.
Exactly, Lishi. That's the biggest pro for you, honestly.
Yeah.
You could go pay to win.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I think I don't know what else to really add to that. I think it's definitely something that definitely benefits society in a lot of ways, but it's expensive, and that's the aspect. It's like justifying the cost to the benefit.
Yeah, and one of our politicians, I think his name, he's the Sikh one, whatever Singh. Mm-hmm. He's a huge advocate for it, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he is one of those NDP leaders, and he's
like what's called if we're saying like $1,000 a month, $1,000 like times the entire population of Canada, it's going to be like a lot.
Yeah, so, depending on the conditions to get it.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the thing. So for example, Amazon was, if they taxed Amazon, they would be getting a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, here in Canada, we don't have an Amazon that could contribute that much to this program.
Also, it'll take away from like other programs and like other things Canada has to pay for.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
True.
That's the biggest issue. Like it's an ongoing kind of debate.
Yeah.
And it's going to add to debt, but I think it's worth it in the end. Anyways, that's about all the time we have today. Again, I want to celebrate our 11th episode of the Wednesday Brunch Podcast. Thank you all that have been joining us for the last 11 weeks listening to us talk. Sometimes I'm a little bit annoying, I'll be honest, so thank you for tuning in. Let's do our standard outro. Check, please. My name is Jaden. I've been the host of the Wednesday Brunch Podcast today.
Credit, please. This was your co-host, Ryan.
And I'm Lishi. See you in the next one.
Forgot about you, Lishi. I'm sorry.
Don't forget about our guest, Jaden.
Great having you this week, Lishi.
All right, thanks. See you in the next one. Yeah.
Bye-bye.